So welcome to this quantum leap. This is a journey where we will share some laws of the universe, some codes of reality to allow you to harness these, to liberate yourself, to allow yourself to be your true self again, because life is a school and love is the lesson. Personally, most of my life seemed like a living hell. I was extremely traumatized from a young age with abuse, with trauma, with toxins in my body. I could barely function. I could barely make eye contact. And through a journey around the world for over 13 years, I learned some traditions, some systems, some codes that I've alchemized into my own system called dream porting. And we're going to take you through a very deep process here in a few minutes. So basically what we're going to do is take a moment to welcome you all. And if you haven't gotten your glass of water, please do. And then I'm going to grab mine right now. And we're going to basically do a little magic and share some of these laws of reality. And the most important part is to integrate them. How can we actually practically use them in this next hour and a half to transform our lives? And so after some training and sharing some tips and codes, we're going to go on about a 30-minute deep breathwork journey to allow us to reveal what that deepest block is that's stopping us from living and to alchemize it. And then we're going to integrate for a few minutes, come back and share. And then I'm going to answer any questions that you have, as many as I can, since there's so many amazing souls here today. So life, what is life? What is this world? Essentially, life is a school, and there's dark and there's light. Now, the darkness, we don't need to judge it. We can see that from the grander scheme of things, we're allowing it to be there to teach us some very important lessons. There can be something that happens that seems very negative, but later on in life, we can say, thank God this happened because it realigned me with my mission. It realigned me with my purpose. And so we want to take away the judgment of good and bad, and instead just see whatever's popping up in our field as perfect for what we need to look at, because it's the ultimate classroom. And when we release this judgment, when we return to that centeredness, that non-dual perspective, we then have the power to instantly transform and alchemize whatever's in the way back into gold. There are several things that can block us from our freedom, from our intentions, and that includes basically judgment is one of the biggest ones, and beliefs. So imagine that you're driving a car and there are filters to your reality. So if you have a judgment that you're not lovable, you're going to keep experiencing that over and over again in this life until you choose a new belief. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reveal what that greatest belief is that's limiting you and transform it. And it's all based off the law of agreements. And that's hand in hand with the law of free will. And that states that everything in the universe is simply reflecting your internal state, your perspectives, your beliefs. And when you choose to let go of one of these limiting beliefs, then everything around you will change. And so it's about realizing that we're not just manifesting our reality from our conscious mind, but also from our subconscious. And that means that we might not be aware of it. And so we might be pushing really hard to make money or find that true love, but our subconscious is repelling it. It's a counter manifestation. And this is why we're going to do this journey today, to really clear us as much as possible of multiple layers of programming, of limits, of negative beliefs, so that we can really timeline shift tomorrow and completely transform and alchemize ourselves That's basically going to allow a truer version of yourself to emanate forth. And those frequencies are going to magnetize a whole new level of abundance, of love, of your soul's deepest dreams. And so it's important to realize that anything that is negative in your reality, in your environment, is simply a reflection of something inside of you. It's often a sub-personality or false identity. And how that works is the following. So when you were yelled at when you were 5, let's say, you developed a personality to try to compensate. Maybe you were punished over and over again, so you had to push away a part of yourself in order to stop getting punished, but now your voice is blocked, right? But even if you're not with your mom anymore who's yelling at you, if you haven't resolved that, it's still creating frequencies and thoughts and manifesting things in your reality. So you might say, oh, I keep getting taken advantage of over and over and over again. Instead of complaining about the external, which is simply drawing in the reflection, the divine reflection to show you as a gift to transform it within yourself, you can really ask and reveal what is that false identity in you. It could be a victim, it could be a protection mechanism that is just trying to help, but it actually isn't helping. And so the key to transform all of these subpersonalities is first to just be aware of it, to realize that, hey, this is happening, and then to disidentify with it, meaning realizing it's not your true self. And then with loving awareness, which means we get to forgive, we get to love and embrace and integrate that part of us back, that's when the magic really happens. So I'd like to start by just sharing a few laws of life and of the universe. And the first law I'd love to share is the Akasha principle. And that's basically explaining that we are actually all one. Everything is part of the oneness. We're just different facets experiencing different parts of reality. And so we're not limited by space or time. And that means that if we choose with an agreement, let's say, to charge this water with some magic, you can program it to do anything. And they've done studies on this with Dr. Emoto, for example. And so what I'd love to do is actually invite you all to take a minute and meditate and hold your glass of water. And I invite you to close your eyes. So as we close our eyes, just feel the glass of water in front of you. Realize that it's all energy. Everything is energy. And with your permission, if you say yes, I will go ahead and charge your water with some activating codes to help you on your journey. So if you'd like that, just say yes and just take a few breaths and allow it to happen. Just relax. Just take your last 2 breaths. Some of you might already feel some energy moving through your hands from the glass. And when you're ready, go ahead and take a sip, keeping your eyes closed, and just see what you feel. So I'm curious if any of you felt a difference. You could take a minute, and it's all good if you didn't, but it's just a test of what's possible when you allow yourself to make a new agreement. So it looks like most people felt a noticeable or powerful shift, and about a third felt either subtle or maybe no shift at all, and that's totally fine. But we're just getting started here, and this is just a little playful game to see what's possible and see that we're not limited by space, right? Because so many of you felt it around the world. And for those watching the recording, we're not limited by time. So many people also feel it when they're watching hours or days later. Beautiful. So essentially, what we're going to do is go much deeper and use energy techniques like this, but in a much more advanced way to allow us to completely shift our realities in very deep ways. Mm-mm. All right, so let's do it. We just have a little, we're learning the technicalities. There we go. All right. So the first code that I want to share with you today, it's called Staying at 12 o'clock. And this was taught by a master that I trained with, an elderly woman that could actually materialize physical substances in her hand. And the first principle that she taught me was called Staying at 12 o'clock, because if you imagine a clock, then you want to stay at 12, which is the center. You don't want to be moving from side to side, which could be trying to resist something you don't like, trying to attach to something you really want. Because when we do that, it's like we start watching a movie, we forget we're in the movie, and we're no longer in the director's chair. And we get puppeted by all these sensations and all these illusions, which are really lessons to teach us to be free and liberate ourselves. And so the law of non-resistance states that when you remain neutral and you're not pulled out of your center, you stop creating karma, you stop creating energy that's going to keep manifesting that same thing. So sometimes you might have had a bad day and you're really frustrated that something's going wrong. And because you keep feeding that energy, more and more things will go wrong, right? And that's just showing you the metaphysics of what's really happening behind the scenes. So the key to non-resistance is also remembering that whatever you want to resist, it's actually serving you. It's preparing you for what you've asked for. I studied with another master from India, and he taught so many people around the world, including some of the top billionaires, this very simple technique that changed their lives, and it's surrender. So we would meditate and literally just surrender. That's all we would do. And it seems so simple, yet there's so many layers of control that we may not realize that we have. We want to get to this effortless flow, this new operating system where we're not fighting with ourselves, because then we can make an intention, we can ask for something, we can get out of the way, we can listen to our intuition, let the universe move around us, which it's always doing, and then we can manifest it and we can free ourselves and so much more. And so it's, again, remembering to relax, to breathe, and to just let things happen. If there's a negative memory or a sensation that pops up in this journey, perfect, right? It's designed to do that because you need to face it in order to release it, in order to raise your vibration, in order to quantum leap your life and your manifestations. So it's important not to feel like a victim, not to get tricked into playing a victim, because we're actually this eternal awareness. We are spirits that are infinite. And we're basically playing a game or in a dream with all these limitations to teach us, like a labyrinth. And so when we remember who we are and we take that non-dual perspective, which means we're not limited to the judgments and the separation of all the programming we were taught to be in, we get to free ourselves because we're no longer resisting. We no longer have the brakes on. So today's about taking off the brakes and tomorrow's about stepping on the gas, but we don't want to step on the gas when the brakes are still on, right? So tomorrow's going to be a launch into a new life. And today is basically the preparation, which is still a very deep and beautiful journey to heal whatever the deepest parts of us that are ready to heal and transform are. And so staying at 12 o'clock, do your best to stay centered throughout today and throughout your life, and especially during this meditation, because the more that you stay centered, right? And you can always bring yourself back. It's normal to, it's a learning curve, but the more you stabilize that centeredness and neutrality, the faster and easier it is to transform anything in the way and start manifesting at a more precise and accelerated rate. So we have a bunch of psychic senses that can help us, and we're just going to speak about 3 of them today. Clairsentience is about feelings in the body. And so there are 2 ways that you can use this technique if you want to during this journey and in your life. So we're just going to close our eyes for 1 more minute. Take a deep breath and relax. And I want you to just ask your body, show me a yes, and just feel what you're feeling. This feeling is tied to whenever your intuition says yes. Are you meant to go to that party? Are you meant to eat this food? Show me a yes. And just remember, whatever you're feeling, some people feel light and expansive, joyful. Some people move forward. So just remember that feeling. And just take another deep breath, let that go. And now ask your body, show me a no. Just focus on the feeling. What do you feel when it's a no for your intuition? A lot of people feel contraction or uncomfortable or just something is off. So just take a mental note, remember this feeling. So at any time you get stuck, you can ask a question and you can get the answer from that. So if you open your eyes, the other method is really simple. It's called muscle testing. So you can just make your hand like this, connecting 2 fingers, and it will stay strong if you say, show me a yes. So you put your other finger through it and say, show me a yes. And then you could say, show me a no, and it will break. It will go weak because it's not correct. And so you can test it by saying your name. My name is Daniel. My name is Bob. And that works very easily for the vast majority of people. So those are 2 ways that you can ask yes or no questions with your body and the feeling of your body. Some people get clairvoyance, which are visions. So you may or may not get visions in this journey. And if you don't, that's okay. Sometimes I'll say to visualize or imagine something. And even if you don't or can't visualize it or have trouble getting clear on it, just by surrendering to the journey, the energy of it's still going to fully affect you. So that's really just a bonus, and it's important not to get stuck on. And the third one is clairaudience, which means getting messages or thoughts. So you can speak to your inner child. You can speak to another spirit or an angel. And the trick is just to direct your focus right at it, like you're pointing at it. So you're not asking your mind, you're speaking directly to that part of you and instantly relaxing and just getting curious to what the first thought is that comes. So it's just trusting whatever comes first. And again, sometimes if you don't get that, it's okay. You can ask again, or it might just be a feeling that you feel, and that's okay too. So it's about detaching from these psychic senses, but just knowing that there's many ways that you can get feedback. And even if you don't get the feedback that you're looking for or clarity, just by breathing and feeling it, you heal it. And we're going to guide you on what to say to those parts of yourself to transform it either way. We're going to work with some divine consciousness in this journey here in a few minutes. And the first one is our holy guardian angel. And this is something that's talked about in Tibetan Buddhism and Islam and mystic Christianity and ancient Judaism and the Kabbalah in different tribes. And it's incredible because I didn't know about this till just a few years ago. And that's when my life completely transformed. And it's an angel that signed up to protect you and guide you in this entire life. Yet by the law of free will, we have to really allow it and ask for it, and also purify ourselves to receive more information, more data, more energy, because we want to open up our vessels. And that's what we're going to do today. And so we're going to just call on the guardian angel at the beginning of this. And some people will feel it, some people might not. It's letting go of expectations and just trusting that it's not about what you're experiencing in the moment. It's more about calling in that support, and it's going to start transforming different things in your life, and you'll start seeing the miracles more and more. We're also going to be working with the 7 angels of the earthly mother. And this was talked about in many places, especially what inspired me is the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Essene Gospel of Peace, where they spoke about these 7 angels, like the angel of the air and the angel of the sun, that can purify us, our body, our mind, and our emotions. And so those are the 3 levels: the physical, the emotional body, and the mental body or spirit. And as we purify each of those layers, what happens is we free ourselves of the darkness that we've been attached to. It casts out the illusion, those little thoughts that are trying to trick us with doubt, that are stopping us from living our full potential. And we get healthier, we get stronger, we get more wisdom, and our heart opens, we have more love and courage. And so I invite you to trust and just to allow these angels to work with you. And I'm going to show you how to do it during the meditation. Some of you might encounter a spirit of a current or deceased loved one, because that's what's needed in order for you to have closure or receive a message. So if that happens, just know that we're only calling in their higher self aspect. So even if they were really mean to you as a child or whatever happened, we're actually calling in their higher self so that you can get the actual information that you need from them. So those are really the main focuses. And again, even if you don't fully understand it, it's going to just be perfect, whatever comes up for you. And you're going to be guided throughout the entire thing. So recoding reality, there's 3 main layers of magic so that you can start transforming anything you need to in this journey that we're going to go in, right? We're going to go on an inward spiritual journey. And the first layer is what we call abracadabra, which is Aramaic for "with my word, I create." So that basically means that our words are spelling out reality. They're so powerful. And when we want something, let's say we have a block, you can use a present tense command, right? If your heart feels blocked, say, "I choose to have an open heart. My heart is open." Or you can ask the angels, "Angels, open up my heart, dissolve whatever in the way, show me what I need to do." So we're just speaking in that way. And that's the best way to transform it. And the key is you have to mean it 100%. So when I was living with an African shaman and given this plant medicine, he said that there was only one rule: you can do anything you want in this journey, but you have to mean it 100%. And when I went on the journey, after a few hours, I finally got what he meant, because I wasn't able to really even mean things 100%. And I thought it was a joke. I was so insecure and didn't love myself. So I actually had to get angry and just claim like, "Hey, I'm done with this. I want to be free." And that moment is when my heart opened up, my third eye opened up, and I cured my depression. And so it's possible. You have to mean it. And so the meaning of it comes from your heart. So your thoughts or the words you speak, whether it's out loud or in your head, are an electric signal. And then from the heart, we have the feeling, which is the magnetic. So you want to feel it like it's already done. You want to feel whatever's coming up. And when you feel it fully, that's a huge wave of energy. The heart's magnetic field is so much more powerful than even the mind's. And they've done studies where when you combine both the electric and magnetic, which is a clear intention, with the feeling of it already done, that's when the magic happens. And they've changed DNA in a test tube just from people using that technique. And so again, we're going to be guiding you to do this. And if you're not able to visualize or imagine things, that's okay. Just do your best. And you don't need all three of these. You actually only need one of these, because anytime you say something with your words, your feelings shift and you might get a different visual, and vice versa. So again, these are just codes that you can use along the way, and trust that whatever happens is exactly what you need. Be easy on yourself. And what this will do is help you to dismantle all of these illusions, these man-made constructs that are in the way. And that's what awakening is. It's not giving yourself anything new, really, but it's simply realizing we've been in a dream, and we start letting go of these limiting beliefs and stories and false identities, and we liberate ourselves. Now we have more power. Now we have more wisdom. Now we have more love to create a more beautiful world. And so the first thing to know is that space and time are man-made constructs. So with simple meditation, you can start to feel yourself and your surroundings and expand beyond your body, because your body is just one drop in the ocean of who you really are. And the same goes with time, because you're actually eternal. You're an eternal spirit, and time is a construct that this life is using to teach us and to allow us to have stories and experiences. But we're actually in this eternal now, and you'll be able to experience that more and more with meditation. So as we dissolve those constructs, we also dissolve duality, which we touched on a moment ago. And that's basically first realizing there's no separation between what's inside or outside of us. You know, it's a concept. And if you really think about it, everything you're looking at right now only exists in the mind. There's signals that are interpreting it as, oh, this computer is outside of me, this is me, but actually we're all one. And everything that's happening to us is a perfect lesson to help us on our journey back into oneness. And so when we release the judgment, we experience more oneness and less separation. We dissolve these illusions and constructs. They allow us to free ourselves and awaken. And the more we do this, the more we have access again to transform any block, to manifest and to create a more beautiful world, to support other people in need, because we're not enchained by these constructs that are limiting us so much from who we truly are. And the third one is, of course, the identity, right? And so I'm lazy, I'm not good enough, I'm not good at public speaking. All these stories, all these labels, they conglomerate into these identities that are not actually true. So they only exist in your mind. And all we have to do is just look at them. And we start disidentifying it, just looking behind it and realizing it's not us. And that's the key, right? Even if it's so painful, even if it's been there for your whole life, when you just look at it with neutral eyes and you breathe and you feel it, you start to detach from it and it starts to dissolve, because it can only be there if it's tricking you that it's real, that it's you. And so it's that easy. And again, we're going to guide you through this process. We're just planting a few seeds for your mind. And either way, the experience is the most important part, because that's where you get to experience it and go through it yourself. We're going to do some alchemy in this journey as well. And that's basically, we're going to use energy techniques to reveal the root of a block inside of you. So we're going to speak to it. You want to speak directly to it. And most people will get a message, the first thought that comes. You can ask follow-up questions, and it's very intuitive, right? But even if you don't get a message, just by feeling it and speaking to it yourself with love is enough to transform it. We're going to rewire it, and then we're going to integrate it back into wholeness. So imagine that there's this 5-year-old, again, using that example, that was yelled at by his mom so many times and punished so much that he's kind of put into the void. It's like, you're not allowed to be here. And then it starts playing out, right? It starts trying to get attention or trying to get love in unhealthy ways. It's no one's fault, really, right? So we want to forgive and integrate that part of ourselves back, because what happens if we keep it separate is it will take hold of the driving the steering wheel and drive the car. So our true self, who we really are, this incredible awareness, we want to remain in the driver's seat. And in the back seat, you could have the 5-year-old, and you can still listen to it and talk to it, which is very healthy to do. Yet you don't want that 5-year-old to overpower you. And if it keeps trying to talk to you in different ways and you're not listening, at some point it's going to erupt in different ways. And so you could see that as triggers in your life or relationships or self-sabotage. But it's really simple if you think about it from the constellation of who you are. So you're actually the true self. And tomorrow we're going to help stabilize and activate that. And then you want to integrate all of those little parts of yourself that got separated from past lives, from this life, etc. And some of it's even from your lineage, right? You were coded with this before you were born. And that's why it's important to have compassion for yourself, your parents, your ancestors, because they've just ushered us in to complete a lot of these healing and alchemy and lessons. And we're all doing our best with what we know. And so we're going to go deep into that in the actual journey as well. So when you're navigating the journey, which we'll start here in just a minute, if you don't get a message, you can ask in a different way. There's many things you can do. Like it says in the notes, if you don't get a message, sometimes it could be trauma or something that happened before you were able to speak. So that's the part of you that it's just operating maybe through visions or through just a feeling. So again, just whatever you're feeling or experiencing, that's perfect. There's no need to force it. We're just relaxing and just allowing things to be revealed. We're going to use energy to just automatically reveal and pull up and transform things. So all we need to do is relax and take some deep breaths. Some people go into this very deep trance or even feel like they dream or fall asleep for a few minutes, or their mind goes somewhere else and comes back. Trust that that's perfect. That's part of the purging, or that's part of the system reboot that your body and mind is needing. So just gently bring yourself back when you catch yourself and just continue on, trusting that that was perfect. And a lot of people do experience really intense temporary experiences. So that could be deep emotions, that could be electric shocks or energy flowing through your body or incredible visuals. So just remember that it's temporary. It's part of the reset process for your healing and awakening. So I recommend not crossing your arms and legs, staying open, and just taking really deep, full breaths. So you want to be breathing deeply in, filling up your whole belly and chest, and then exhaling out of the mouth, just relaxed, letting any tension go. I'm going to be reminding you of this throughout the journey as well. And so we're going to take a couple minutes to set up, because you want to be able to be in a really comfortable space. Most people prefer laying down. So you can go on your bed or the floor with a pillow, or if you want to stay seated, especially if you are tired and you don't want to fall asleep, then definitely stay seated. It's just about being as comfortable as possible. So we're going to begin in about a minute. We're going to take a minute for you to just do whatever you need to set your space and set your intention to free yourself for whatever is not in your highest good. We're going to begin in 30 seconds. So go ahead and if you'd like, call on your angels and guides, relax as much as possible, and just allow yourself to play all out. Really breathe in fully and follow the guidance because you deserve to live a life of freedom and joy. So take your last few breaths, just relaxing your body. Beautiful. So let's begin. Taking some gentle and deep breaths in through the nose and exhale fully, let it go. Take another deep breath in and make a sigh on the exhale, letting go of all the tension. As you keep breathing this way, just allow yourself to relax deeper and deeper. Close all the tabs in your mind. Just let them go on the next breath, saying thank you. We can get back to you later. Get as comfortable as possible. And to take a moment to thank yourself for saying yes to this journey, to having the courage to show up and heal and free yourself to create a more beautiful world. Let's begin by imagining a spiraling golden light coming from the heavens and moving down into your body, cleansing your mind. This divine consciousness clears you of all tension and embraces you with love. Start to breathe in this golden plasma from the power of the sun and let it cleanse you and relax you. Moving it into your head, relaxing your jaw and shoulders. And start to feel it gently moving down your body, starting to fill you up with light. Until it starts to flow out of your feet and into the earth, grounding your energy, taking with it any negativity, anything that is not your energy, and pulling it down deep into the core of the earth. And this energy, with every breath, grows stronger, like a waterfall of golden light that will continue to take you deeper on this journey to freedom and joy. Now call in your guardian angel. Whether it's your first time or not, all you need to do is pray from your heart and ask, guardian angel, please come to me, protect me, and guide me. Open up my senses to see or hear what I need to know. Thank you. Now take one more breath, make a sigh. And we're going to allow our angel to reveal to us the deepest block that we're ready to transform. So you might feel a block or tension somewhere in your body. Just choose one area that you feel the most and take a breath or two into there. You might see it as a color or a shape, but either way, we're going to speak directly to it and ask that energy, what do you need in order to be at peace again? Listen. Now we're going to use a flash of white light and command it to reveal to us the root of this situation. So see a beautiful white light flash and see if you get a memory or a deeper message. Where is this from? Ask that energy, how old are you? Maybe you'll get a number. Now, if you got a memory, go ahead and go back into that moment. And if you didn't, just go ahead and keep talking, asking questions to that part of you. See if a memory comes, or just a person from your past. Now take a deep breath and stay neutral. Allow yourself to feel whatever's coming through and take a deep breath. Now ask your guardian angel to guide you. What do I need to know about this situation? Now I want you to visualize or speak directly to that younger version of you. Whatever is that energy that is pulled up. And I want you to speak from your heart and remind that part of you the truth, that whatever happened isn't your fault. And if anyone hurt you, it was also because they were hurt. Use your breath and feel, staying neutral. Remember who you are as that eternal spirit of love. And I want you to hold that part of you, that younger part of you, and give him or her the greatest hug you've ever given anyone. And breathe and say, I'm sorry that this happened. You didn't deserve this, but it was a lesson we needed to learn. And I promise you that I'm here for you now. And I will give you the love and the safety that you need from this moment forth. Deep breath. Make a sigh. Now we're going to use the white light again, a flash of white light, to reveal if there's someone that needs forgiveness, whether it's you, a parent, or whoever's in that memory or related to it. So flash that white light and see the first person that comes to you. Take a deep breath. Just choose one person and breathe. And I want you to visualize them, go back into time when they were a little child and they were hurt. How they didn't get to grow up emotionally. How they didn't have the tools that you have today. And see if you can have compassion for that little boy or girl that is underneath. Now visualize a pink energy, a pink ray of light moving into your heart and helping you release any judgment, any pain. As you speak to that soul and say, I'm sorry that you were hurt. I bless you and release you from judgment. Let's take some deep breaths now, in through the mouth and out through the mouth. A little deeper. And we're going to say, I bless and release anything that does not bring me peace. Now I'd like you to go back even further in time, before you and that person were even born. In the spirit world, seeing both of your souls there before coming to earth, and you're about to reveal a soul contract. As you look at them, they say, I'm going to join you on earth, and I'm going to help awaken you. But our memories are going to be erased. And I'm going to come in with a lot of programming from my family, from TV and toxins, and I'm not going to be able to show up in a beautiful way. But I'm doing this because I love you, because I'm in your highest service. Now let the white light flash one more time and see if you get a message of the soul contract between you two. As you keep breathing, deep breaths in through the mouth and out through the mouth. Disidentify with any remaining identity of taking it personally. And with your love, with your heart, embrace that part of you again, that child. And if you'd like, you can thank the other soul and that experience for bringing you here, for making it uncomfortable for you to look within and to awaken. We're going to call on the angel of air now to help us to release this and all other energies that no longer serve us. So just do the following. As you breathe deeply in and out of your mouth, you can call on the angel of air in your mind and heart. Angel of air, I breathe you in. Please take all darkness, all judgment, all negativity, and pull it out of my body, my mind, my emotions, and my soul. Take it out of my mouth and the next few breaths and free me from all that does not give me peace. Now, as you take some deep breaths, you might need to cough or make a sound or shake as we command now all darkness, all negativity, all entities, energies, contracts, cords that do not serve your highest good to be released and dissolved back into love and source now from your body, mind, and spirit on all timelines and realities. So it is done. Take a deep breath and just let it go. Let your body express now. Good. Just let it happen. It's not you. And we're going to use an ancient spell to help this process go deeper. So just take a few breaths and continue releasing. Enu shub gigamsu, kishagiga garsagda sisaya maradaya, tingir ud kalamasiniku, tingir guyu ninab nexranku, gayushu shagmukutu. Seeing a box in front of you of golden light, just pulling any last entities and energies that are not you, pulling them into that box in the next few breaths, allowing it to happen, calling on the angel of air to help breathe out any last parts that do not serve you. And take a moment to relax, recenter yourself. And stay equanimous. Trust that whatever happened was perfect. And we're going to go deeper in a minute. So allow yourself to accept this moment and relax. Now let this golden light shine on you, calling in the angel of the sun. Angel of the sun, shine your light on me and dissolve any resistance that's in the way, any doubt or fear. I give all my worries to you. Take a few deep breaths and just with your free will, agree to let the angels take all that's still holding you back. Telling yourself, you don't need to hold on to this yourself. You don't need this to protect you, for love is your protection. And you are guided by the divine. Taking a deep breath and making a sigh, giving it all up, letting go. Feeling that light, that golden ray penetrate deeper into your being and start to automatically dissolve and rewire yourself back to your true self, letting go of anything in the way. And as you do that, keep your awareness on your true self. Remember that you are an infinite awareness beyond your body. So let this golden light dissolve all of the separation that's left. And see if you can feel the air around you, the sounds, as you expand beyond your house into the forests and the rivers and the stars. Just allowing it to happen, easing up and returning to your natural, expansive state. As you relax and let this unfold, expanding your energy field, remember that you are eternal, that you are indestructible, that you've lived many lives, and that this is a game and a classroom. And so allow yourself to lighten up now. Allow yourself to smile for a moment, which brings in blissful energy from the sky. As we call in the angel of joy to move in from the crown of our head down our bodies. Angel of joy, help us lighten up. Help us feel our love and passion for life again. Move out any heaviness that's inside of us and transform it to gold. Take a few breaths in through the mouth and out again, allowing yourself to feel your true self, this light moving through, naturally pushing out the illusions and the limitations. Feel the beautiful presence of your spirit shining within you and all around you. And now we're going to tune into our bodies one more time and see if there's another block that you're ready to transform. So feel your body and let the golden light reveal. It could be the same place going deeper or a new place. Just take a moment and feel. Where do you feel that the most? Speak to it and ask, what do you need in order to be at peace again? Now see if a memory comes up. If there's a memory, go back into that scene. If not, simply continue speaking to that part of you. Give it an embrace and remind that part of you what he or she needs to know from your heart as your angels guide you. Call in your guardian angel now to hold that part of you or that inner child and tell that part of you, we are safe now. You are loved. And I'm going to give you everything you need right now. Take a deep, loving breath. Beam that golden light that's been flowing through you to that inner child. And say, I'm sorry that this happened, but I'm here for you now. I'm sorry if I wasn't listening before, but I commit to you from this moment forth to be your guardian, to be your angel. Now ask that part of you what it needs to fully let go. If there's another person or situation to forgive, take a moment to do that, or simply give it reassurance. Speak to it with love as you shine the golden light to transform it into gold. Use your breath. And if there's any dense energy still there, just give it to the angels. Give it to the golden light, the plasma of the sun to transform by saying, I bless and release all that does not bring me peace. Take some deep breaths in through the mouth and out. In through the mouth and exhale through the mouth. A little faster. Deep breath in and out. In and out. Keep with that breath as this golden light pours through you. And now we're going to call on the violet light. This light of transmutation will help to accelerate this process. See this beautiful, deep violet light moving into your body from the heavens, and focus it on that part of your body. Speak to that little child within you and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Keep with the breath, deep breaths in and out. Now see your family, your ancestors, some special people from your past coming around you with tears in their eyes, holding you in a circle. And they're saying, thank you. We've been waiting lifetimes for someone to do this work, to clear this from many generations. See if you can let them in and feel their love as you complete this process. Just breathing, deep breath in and out. Let go of processing and allow the angels to do the rest. All you have to do is say, any contracts or connections that no longer serve my highest good, I release now, fully and completely. So it is done. Good. Deep breaths in and out, fully in through the belly and chest, letting it go, surrendering to the energy that's raising your vibration and moving anything out that needs to, and stay neutral, smile. If something is heavy, just send it love and say, thank you for the lessons. I bless you and release you. We're going to do the breath for just another minute, deep breaths in and out. And I want you to imagine that you're holding that little boy or girl, that part of you, and saying, I welcome you home now. And start to merge with it. Let it back in. Send it love and smile. Take your last few breaths as you commit to being the parent you might not have had for yourself, for those parts of you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And you're getting ready to take a deep breath in and hold your breath. So on the next breath in, take a deep breath in. Hold your breath now as long as possible. Hold your breath and don't let go. Focus on your heart getting ready to explode. Tighten your body, tighten your fists, keep everything tight, tighten your whole body, and imagine that your heart is about to explode and expand into the whole universe. And just speak to your heart while you hold your breath and say, I command you to open. I commit to love. Now keep holding and surrender to the feeling. It's okay to feel these feelings. Hold on as long as you can, as you expand. And just let go, relax, relax, and just let the angels take you to a higher place. Calling in the angel of water now, imagining a beautiful blue waterfall washing over you, just smoothing out your energy field, moving any feelings that might still be stuck. And just gently breathing now in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel the coolness of the water. Let it in deeper. Just wash away your worries and smooth out your feelings. Angel of water, please purify my blood and my emotions. Bring me to peace. Return my faith in myself and the divine. Now focus on your heart, and we're just going to travel to the innermost chamber where you might see a flame. If you see a flame in your heart, we're just going to bless it and give it more love to grow it bigger. And if you don't, go ahead and with the help of the angel of the sun, we're going to ignite that flame in your heart and just let it light now. And just imagine or feel this beautiful fire of love in your heart, taking a few more deep breaths, deep breath in and out, just flaming it open, allowing yourself to stand up for yourself, to love yourself, telling yourself, I'm safe to have my heart open, and start to feel this loving fire move into your whole body, into your hands, and just transforming any last pieces that are ready to transform. So take a minute and start to move your body, seeing this beautiful energy start to shoot out of the palms of your hand and go to some places in your body. Let your hands start to move, let your body start to move, use your breath, and just receive this beautiful energy of transformation and love. See if you can take a deep breath and make a sound using your voice. Connect it with your heart and use that frequency to align every cell in your body back into harmony. One more breath, one more sound. Now just relax for a minute and let this golden light fill you back up with love, calling back all of your power, all the pieces of your soul back into your body at the highest vibration in the next 3 breaths. Welcoming back all parts of you now, sealing and filling up your body with love and all of your energy, raising it to its maximum vibration now. And take a moment to make a prayer, calling all your angels, and ask for whatever you need for the rest of the day. Help me integrate this healing and guide me on what to do next. Taking a minute to gently return to the physical realm, thanking your body with a loving embrace, gently integrating and return to the physical body. Taking one more breath and make a sigh. Welcome back your hands and your feet. You can do a light stretch and take a minute to welcome yourself back home. All right, welcome back, everyone. So I'd love to hear your experiences, and some of you are already sharing. Shedding tears, beautiful transformation, can't even put in words, incredible. And we're just going to do a quick poll also to see. I'm so happy. And again, this is just the appetizer. And we're going to send you the recording in an hour or two with some instructions for your ritual to do before tomorrow. So you have 24 hours about to do this really powerful ritual on your own to go even deeper to prepare you for tomorrow. So if you want, you can also re-listen to the class and or the recording and go deeper, but also take off the pressure and just trust that you got whatever you really needed. There's a few people that are still feeling blocked, and that's normal because there's a lot of layers to this, and we're guiding so many different people with so many different situations, doing our best. Yet we're going to answer some questions to support some of you, and we're actually going to open up another free healing circle for anyone that's having trouble moving through stuff to support you with some one-on-one guidance and magic. But overall, it seems that around 96% of people felt moderate to massive shifts, and about 4% are feeling overall still blocked. You might have gotten some shifts, and that's totally normal. So for those people, be compassionate. And for all the people that are blasted with love, let's just go ahead and send everyone in the group some love right now to help send some of that love to anyone that still needs some movement, right? So it's totally natural to feel a little heavy still or tender because a lot of things were brought up and we didn't have a chance to fully go into all of it, right? Because your body's like, oh, wow, finally, I can show you this because you're looking at it, you're listening. So it wants to show you more. So the integration now is to really keep speaking to yourself, to journal, and to allow yourself to truly be tender with yourself and nurture yourself, because those parts of you still want to talk to you for a lot of people, right? And so you've done great, and you've been very courageous in opening and allowing this to come through. And I'm loving these incredible comments here and shares. I just feel so much love. I've never had so many people. We had way over 800 people for most of the experience, 800 souls. And it was absolutely beautiful. And we have, I think, double that are going to be watching the recording of in the next few days. So this recording will be available for the next 7 days. So you can do it again, you can watch, you can take more notes. But again, this is just the preparation. This is just opening you up enough so that we can do the timeline shift tomorrow, which is my favorite part. And you don't have to be perfect. It's not like you have to clear all the blocks or whatever that means in order for tomorrow to work. Think of it like math, right? It's like the more that you clear your vessel, the more then you can clear, the more that you can bring in that part of you, that true self in. So whether it's 25% or 95% more, that's going to create a massive shift in your life. So even if you stopped now, tomorrow is going to really help. And for some of you, it's a totally different set of techniques for the most part. So for some of you, it will actually be more powerful because, well, I think it'll be more powerful for everyone, but we're going to focus on the positive vibration now. We're going to focus on what we're bringing in. And by the law of vibration, that means that if you have two vibrations in the same space, the higher vibration always wins. So the key to that is to stay neutral, right? We're going to breathe in powerful vibrations. And if you're still feeling stuff come up, that's good. It's the contrast. And if you just stay neutral and you accept it and just send it love while focusing on the positive vibration, within a few minutes, it's going to totally transform your system. So it's about realizing it's an automated process. It's an effortless process. And you just get to get out of the way. And this was your first attempt. So it's actually, the more you use these techniques, the faster and easier it gets. It could just be like a snap, right? I'm seeing some incredible comments here. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have cleared some massive things. I'm so proud of you and so happy to hear that. This is This is absolutely incredible. So thank you for the shares. And I know we're running a little bit over what we said, but I'm going to stay on for a bit to answer some questions. So if you have some questions, you can put them in the chat. And again, it's totally, we'll do our best to answer as many as we can here. And then of course, you can email us if you have questions at info@dreamporting.com, and we'll be able to support you deeper tomorrow. But just know that it's normal to still have stuff coming up. That's why we're giving you a ritual, right? We call this a virtual retreat because it's not just a Zoom call, but it's actually a powerful, magical ritual that you're going to do here that will send you in about an hour to really complete this process and bring it home in a really powerful way. And so I really invite you to do it and do it full out. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, but just mean it 100%, right? And that's going to perform some incredible results for you. I'm just really excited to hear about that as well. So let's see some questions here. So it's hard because I keep getting new questions and there's so many people, so I'm trying to stay at one. So if you want to raise your hands, that might be easier. So if you raise your hand, we can actually allow you to talk as well. So, yeah. Okay, Denise. Hi, Denise. Can you hear us?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you had a question?
Oh, I didn't know I had a question. I apologize. I didn't press a message or anything. I was playing with my dog for a minute.
That's okay. All right. Well,
Okay. My question is, when you go back in time or you go back to the moment that you have that white flash and you see the moment, is it possible, because when I was there, I actually saw 2 or 3 memories, one strong one and then 2 others.
Yes.
What were the others there? I had the strong one memory, but what were the other 2?
You did great. Often our consciousness is so expansive, it will show us all the things at once, right? And you have a consciousness where you're able to receive that, right? So when I tune into someone's block, sometimes I see 3 memories, right? And then I intuitively am guided to focus on one at a time. So you focused on one, and I will just write down the others and do this practice again. You can listen to the recording and go through the other 2 memories, because it's instantly showing you, these energy techniques are showing you all the things you need to resolve in order to get to the next level. So if you have several things, it's normal. There's often more than one layer. And that's why we're just giving you a taste of what's possible in the whole system. And you can we invite you to go back and do all of them, right? Because it's once you do all of them, you've completed and resolved that entire issue. And what's cool is that there's 2 types of people. Some people, there's one big block they have in their life. And once you clear it at least 70%, then all the other ones can easily be resolved too. Or sometimes the other type of person is there needs to be 2 or 3 main blocks. You need to get this one to 50%, this one to 80%, and then you can move forward. So it's not even about 100% clearing self-doubt or insecurity or punishing yourself. It's just about getting it enough, because all the programming and these subpersonalities are a constellation. They work in tandem. And so there's a strategy that's purely intuitive based off what's coming up in the moment during this journey space to show you what to focus on first. And as you do that, it's the most efficient way to free yourself from all of those layers and transform your life. So thanks for asking. That was a good question.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, because I didn't know which one to focus on, and then one just kind of really brightened.
Yeah, it's always,
and that's the one I went to.
Exactly. Great job for trusting that. And if you have multiple choices, right, you can muscle test. Should I do the 5-year-old with my mom, or should I do when my grandpa yelled at me? And then you can muscle test or do that as well. So now you have different ways, different tools, and it's very intuitive. So what to do next. So thank you so much.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
All right. How about Farhad? No. All right.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So I have one major block, but this time it didn't go to that one, which is, that my inner being keeps saying, I don't want to do it. Like whatever I want to do, like spiritual wise, business wise, it just keeps saying, I don't want to do it. Okay. But this time it went to another thing that it said, I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So this time I was working on that. So how do I figure out what that other thing, why he doesn't want to cooperate with me and do the projects that I want to do? He
Yeah,
just
that's a
keeps
great
denying
question. Mhm.
everything.
Yeah. So usually what happens as a child, if let's say you have a dad that was really strict and would try to, you would do something and he would control you or put you down, right? I don't know if you had a parent like that, but what happens is that keeps playing out in the current. So we can call it a rebel. It's a subpersonality that's like a rebel. It could be like a teenage or a child rebel. And it's basically just angry and it needs to be integrated and loved. So it's like you have the brakes on and you're trying to drive. So the strategy for you is just, take a little bit of time off of trying to push yourself forward. And it's really speaking to that part of you with patience, right? The key is not allowing yourself to get upset at that part of you, even though it's like, well, I need to do this work. You're sabotaging my life. But it's realizing, hey, there's a part of you that was treated in a similar way earlier on, right? Does that resonate? Does that bring back a memory?
Not a particular one, but it does resonate as you're saying, like my mom was like that. But I really do need to move forward because I've been working on this for many years. So
I hear you. Well, it's actually letting go of that need. It's a paradox, but I feel like when you put pressure on that part of you, it's a lot harder because that's resistance. So the key for you is to just take a little time and maybe listen to this again. And when that comes up, just breathe. And if a memory doesn't show up, there might be resistance to a certain trauma, but it's just breathing and having compassion for how you were treated as a child, where there's a part of you that was separated. It was like, hey, you can't be you, right? And so we want to we want to speak to that part and be like, hey, I'm sorry. And we're actually going to, part of the ritual we're giving you shortly is a mirror exercise. It's mirror magic, where you get to really apologize to that part of you. And even if it wasn't your fault, you're saying, hey, I'm sorry that this happened. And I'm sorry for not listening to you before. I'm sorry for betraying you even, and really going there, right? And it's about getting that part of you to a point where they are listening again and are willing to cooperate. But first, think of it like a child that was hurt for so many years and they're just closed off. It's just speaking to it with love and just humbling yourself to be like, hey, what else do you need, right? And if you don't get an answer, then keep apologizing. Just tell that part of you what you think it needs to know and remember. And it's like a withered flower that will start to blossom again. And the key for you and anyone listening is non-resistance. So imagine that a child was hurt. If they're feeling you still pressuring them, they don't feel safe. That's the pressure that maybe your mom put on you. So we want to stop the pattern by actually just letting go of the result and just being present. Just being like, hey, you know what? It's okay that you're feeling this. I understand. I'm sorry that this happened. I'm here to listen. I'm here to love you. So when you shift to that perspective, you'll see an instant shift if you really hold that. So it's just about being patient and letting go of the pressure of needing to be somewhere in the future. And that neutrality, right? The 12 o'clock is going to transform it when you do it next. So thanks for that question.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you totally got this. All right. So let's do Justy.
Hi, hello.
Hey.
Well, thank you for doing this online experience, which allow us to be with you without traveling to Texas. Well, first of all, I took it because I want to unblock something in my intestines. I've been suffering since I was 7 with terrible pains, and problems. And then while I was doing that, I tried to focus them in the part of my body, which is the area from the sacral chakra. And I have a difficulty. Well, if one thing was positive, I could see like connecting with my child in that moment that probably blamed himself for what happened to me. So I see the fears, but I have a hard time to connect it with the angels. Even though I have experienced that when I was at that age, I had all those problems. I was 7. The angels came and helped my mother, so now help me. But I have I have like when you were saying, you know, connected to the angel, I was repeating, what do you say? But I couldn't like feel that they were there. What I can do that to be able to connect more with the angels, you know.
I love that. Yeah, well, I'd love to support you with that. And anyone listening that didn't get a visceral feeling or a vision of the angels, that's totally normal. And usually it doesn't happen right away. Think about it like this. The angels, they don't judge you like humans do. It's more of a metaphysical question of even if you're calling on them, right? Your conscious is like, angels, please help. If your subconscious is counter pushing them away, it could be limiting beliefs. It could be fear. It's like, hey, I've been taken advantage of by people. I'm scared. I'm going to call in negative aliens or whatever if I call in the angels, right? There could be layers of that. There could be layers of, oh, the blame and the guilt for myself is not making me feel fully worthy to receive the angel. So the angels are going to come in as much as you're allowing your composite consciousness, meaning both your conscious and subconscious, to allow them in. So just by calling them, you know, they're still doing something, right? And I feel like you still got a shift. And it's about detaching from needing a specific way to know that they're there. And it's about strengthening your faith and continue to purify. So as you release, you know, the blame in your stomach and the different layers, the more and more you'll have access, right? Think of it like an internet. It's like a 56K modem to a DSL to fiber optic, or just the aperture of a lens growing wider and wider to receive more data, which could be visuals, feelings, insights, messages, miracles, etc. So again, this is just a quick taste of a lot of different things. And as you purify yourself, you'll be able to experience more and more. So the key now is just to strengthen your faith by keep doing this work and keep praying. And just, it's like a workout, like every day. You might not see big biceps on day 1, but if you are committed for 2 months, you'll definitely see a big shift, right?
Okay, great. I feel the light. I could see the lights when you were singing. I'm very good with the imagery, but I every time when they come angels, it's not the first time. Angels are having a hard time to feel the energy or to feel that I'm really there. It's like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm alone, you know. But yes,
Yeah.
there is a force in there. But it's like, but I will try to keep doing it. So this recording will be for 7 days, so we can do it all over and over again.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, the angels are more advanced, higher frequencies. So it's easier to feel and see golden light and those different energies. And then the angels, some of you feel right away, they're still doing things. Just if you're calling them, something's happening no matter what, right? Because they're always listening. And again, it's about detaching from feeling them. And it's just opening up your field to loving yourself more, to raising your vibration. And that's the amount of they can actually support you, and you can feel them more. So it's, you know, it's like the hand coming from the sky. If you reach halfway, they'll reach the other halfway. But it's a process. And so being patient with yourself and continuing to purify is a great way to allow them in. I actually did a 12-day water fast. I'm not recommending this to anyone per se, but you know, to connect with my guardian angel and these angels, I fasted on just water for 12 days and woke up before sunrise and prayed and did these rituals to purify my body, my emotions, and my mind. And this was just a few months ago, and it completely transformed my life. And not only that, but my guardian angel then on the last day said, you get one wish, you can have whatever you want at the time of your choosing. And instantly I was like, well, I want true love, because it feels like everything else is really in alignment in my life. And I've always wanted that deep partnership. But I was smart enough to ask, like, when am I really ready? And my angel instantly said 2 months from now. And literally on that exact day, 2 months later, me and my partner, you know, we said, I love you. And we became partners on that exact day. And so the benefit of working with angels is not only will you get messages and protection, but they'll also help you manifest things, right? It's kind of like outsourcing, because if you're aligned with the light, it's like you're playing on the same basketball team. If you need a certain thing, that will help raise your vibration, then it's fine to ask for it, right? So you always want to ask first before you manifest. And then once you get a yes from your intuition, then you can proclaim it. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow too. So I don't want to get ahead of myself too much, but just a little peek of the magic of angels and how easy it is to manifest things the more you're in alignment. And that takes a level of purification, which we're doing. And we haven't completed. We're actually going to do the ritual, and we're going to do one more wave of purification tomorrow, just to get any last things out of the way that are needed before we do that quantum leap. So thanks again for your question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. How about Ki?
Oh, hi, Daniel. Thank you. That was really beautiful. My question is, how do we remember who we really are?
That's a great question. So basically what we're doing today is we're releasing, it's like, think of it like you have a car and there's a bunch of mud on your windshield and you're like, I think I have a really bad car. I can barely drive, but there's nothing wrong with your car. It's actually that there's just filters on it, right? There's beliefs, there's stories, there's imprints, there's energies that are not yours. And so as you purify yourself, it's just going to come naturally, right? It's not like we're trying to get something on top of us. It's just releasing those limitations one at a time. And the more you do that, the more you'll remember. You could get past life memories. You could just remember the power that you have, the greatness that you are, and that will bring that magnetic confidence and your full potential to you. So it's about just continuing on the work, investing in yourself to continue doing this work and staying committed, because it's just a matter of time, and it's going to just be a beautiful journey of unfolding to just keep clearing whatever's in the way. And soon enough, you'll get really deep clarity on who you are, your purpose, your destiny, and so much more.
And my next question is, Daniel, I get super emotional. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so emotions are not bad. And we always want to feel emotions. We don't want to repress emotions. Yet at the same time, we don't want to be a victim. So the ego has different tools in its sleeves, the great adversary, which is really our gym teacher, to train us to become who we really are. And one of them is called sensitivity. So it could be, oh, it's too much, it's too hard, right? And it can be tricking you to actually think it's too hard to do this work. Another way is like what I used to do a lot is the overuse of humor. So I would make a lot of jokes, but I just wasn't being authentic, and it was a way to bypass my feelings. Sometimes it will make you just really lazy or tired, but you can really snap out of it with your will or, different methods, and also cleaning your body. So there's different ways that resistance will show up. So for you, if you're having a lot of emotions, it means that there's just deeper layers of your inner child that just want your attention. There's just deeper things to resolve. And when you really do this work to a deep level, which we'll talk more about tomorrow, you'll be able to integrate it, and it will become less and less where you have these emotional outbreaks. There's also a physical component where a lot of people are just overloaded with toxins. So detoxing your body is really important, and just balancing it out. Sometimes even magnesium will help so many people feel more relaxed and not get it as irritated. And it's also environment, right? There might be someone in your environment or the place you're at that is making you not feel fully safe, but you're not listening to that, maybe because you were used to that from childhood. So you got to really look at what is out of alignment and realigning it. And every time you do that, you build momentum, right? And as you build momentum, what used to be a big mountain becomes a little fly that you can just fly through, because you are moving in an upward spiral. And this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So I'm really excited to dive deeper on that.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right. How about Essence?
Hello, you can hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Awesome. I wish I had a question just so I can take advantage of being able to talk to you right now. But I really just raised my hand to share some appreciation. This was so incredible. I am not familiar with any of your work, really. I think I saw an ad on Instagram, and I paid like $5 to join this retreat. And I'm just really, truly blown away.
Oh, I really appreciate that. And thank you. This is the first time I'm doing anything like this. I was just guided to, and I didn't really have too much of an idea of what I was actually going to do until I was doing it, because I always do my best to get out of the way, and I'm learning a lot from this experience. So yeah, I appreciate the kind words. And if you or anyone is guided to spread the message and help other people, they can still get this and watch it for the next 7 days. And there's lots of other goodies we have to offer as well. So thanks again for the kind words. I appreciate it.
And if you can,
Yeah, go ahead.
so Harry, my mouth dropped. That's crazy that you've never done this before, because it was just so natural and it was incredible. But something also you were talking about earlier, the cleanse that you did with your angels and your guides, the 12-day fast. For a while now, I really have been thinking about doing something more intense like that. I've done like day fasting, but I am thinking I'm feeling pulled to do something like that. So if there's any way you'd be open sharing more details about what that was like for you.
Yeah, totally. Well, it was inspired by the Dead Sea Scrolls. You can get the book. It's called The Essene Gospel of Peace. We'll put it in the chat, and it's available on Amazon, for example. And it's intuitive, and but it's basically, you call the angel of water and you bless the water, and you can do a water enema with it. They actually, it's based off Christ's original words. And just FYI, we're not tied to any specific religion, but I love being inspired by many masters. And so they took a gourd and a reed and put water from the river, blessed it with the angel of the sun, which actually has UV rays, which sterilizes the water. And then with that magic, it clears your bowels. And the first step is clearing your body out, right? And you just keep water fasting. But it's important to do it safely. We're in a different age with a lot of toxins. So you got to muscle test or tune in. Should I do a different detox first, right? Should I do a heavy metal cleanse or a colon cleanse before undertaking something like this? Because it is intense and also will bring up a lot, right? I've done a lot of plant medicines with shamans, and by far this, without taking any supplements or psychedelics, I had more insights and visions and, shadows coming up than everything else combined, pretty much. So it's quite a masterful process, and you just want to make sure you're ready, or start with the small one, right? Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, let's go to Adam.
Hello, Daniel. Thank you so much for your work that you've just done. It was incredible. Like someone else said, I can't believe this is your first time to do something like this. You're on the right path. You're doing the right stuff.
Appreciate it.
And it was really incredible. The memory that came up for me was the analogy that you were speaking about. The first memory I ever had, my youngest memory, was a resentment. And it was a resentment in a car. My aunt shouted, and it was just so many synchronicities and just incredible. And I can't wait for the next session. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm so glad you went into that. Just inspiration for people. Just keep going. You can do this process again before tomorrow if you'd like, and afterwards, right? And it will just keep going deeper, because again, there's not just one thing. And the more you do it, it's all about the inner work, right? It's everything outside is a reflection in the constellation. So I'm excited to hear what happens now that you've cleared that, what's going to show up differently. And some of you will notice that even before class tomorrow, right? Look at the little signs, get curious, and see what shifts. Sometimes people will treat you differently because your magnetic field is training people how to actually treat you, even if they've never met you before. And so that's all part of the system here to optimize all the parts of your life. And I'm really grateful you joined. So thank you, Adam.
Oh, thank you. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right, Ariana.
Hello. I thought I had this question, that question, but my mind has been, I feel like there's a lot of defragging or something going on, and I feel kind of spacey.
That's okay.
But I did not expect to, I hope it's okay to talk about this. I didn't expect to go all extraterrestrial. um, I did have an abduction experience as a child, and I've had healers pick up on it and do clearings on me, and then like 20 years went by, and then suddenly it's been coming up again. And I've had a debilitating neuropathic illness where it's just like, it's almost like getting electroshock. Like if you had electroshock therapy to your face and your jaw and your ears deeply inside.
Mm.
And oddly, I also had a psychic like predict that I was going to have an illness around this time. So I do feel like for a long time I was kind of like, I create and I'm creating my reality, but it was from an ego place. And then I kind of realized there are things like my soul contracted, and this is one of those things. And now I'm coming out of it and I'm healing it. And I'm wondering if you have any other like tips or something that may come to you around working with this kind of an issue
Mhm.
that is
Totally.
shown.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I've dealt with it myself and supported others through it. There's more advanced techniques where you could actually change events in the past, if they were no longer aligned with your free will. I've had, someone, their driver's license actually changed and their picture.
Whoa.
So I'm not expecting everyone here to believe it, but you can do that. It's time magic. And we work with time magic, which we'll be doing tomorrow. And so it's what I feel is you're totally going to heal this issue as long as you take deeper responsibility of your creation and realize that it's simply working for you to show you, because A, you can have that experience that happened, and I'm not discounting it, but B, you now in this present moment, which is the only moment that's real, have the choice to transform it and no longer feed it. And all the programs and thoughts that are continuing to make it what we can say is real, and even, exacerbate things because of the result fear, and then the doubt, and it's called frequency rate limiters, which then are creating a ceiling over your life. So, I totally transformed it myself. And it was a very deep issue. And now it didn't even exist, and all the symptoms from that disappeared. And it was just an opportunity for me to find out how to do it and do it. So now I can teach it to others. And I feel like you get to empower a lot of people with that too, once you do it. So, yeah.
I appreciate you saying that. And I just feel appreciative, like meeting somebody who has been through that and transmuted that, because I don't know like hardly anybody. So I think that's just like kind of giving me a new level of awareness. And, the interesting thing is I was like, I thought I cleared it, and it was like, oh, I'm done with this. And then even when I had the neuropathy, I didn't think it was related to it. And then recently it came up as one of the factors, along with like mercury, because I had mercury fillings put in on that side as a child. And during this meditation, I got that, like the angels showed me that something about that kind of the implanting and all of that interfered with my nervous system and caused like kind of like a malfunction. So I did feel, clearing with that. And, when you speak about responsibility, I got the download that I agreed to help these beings because they were doing some kind of cloning, and they kind of numbed out their emotional body, something like that. And it was like, they were asking for help. And so I did agree to it.
Yeah. And you can see it as the darkness and light, right? Whatever happened, for me, like I was autistic, I could barely make eye contact. And now, the top tech founders, I guide them to handle their emotions, right? Where it was literally the greatest block. So it's, with your nervous system, I feel like that's a code for you to master, and then turn it into gold. So think of it like alchemy. And a big part of that is really just letting go of all the attached stories to it. Once you're ready to let go of it, right? And then just focus on turning it to gold and using these techniques. And tomorrow we're going to dive deeper into that. So I'm really excited
I love that.
You opened up about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your feedback.
Yeah, of course. Okay, we're going to go to, let's see. I can't, there we go. Miriam, how about that? Oh, it's not saying, there's a tech issue there. How about we go to Jeff Carr? Are you there, Jeff? Okay, we'll go to,
Hello?
oh, there we are. Okay.
Hi. Yeah, hi. I was just wondering what that chant was during the meditation. And you did some like it sounded very ancient, like.
Yeah, that was an ancient Sumerian spell to banish all negative energies and entities. I'm curious if anyone felt something there. Sometimes we pull out some of those.
Yeah, it's the thing that kind of resonated the most. Like, and then when you did the there was some sort of like high pitch thing. What was that?
Yeah, that was a special frequency which aligns you with the higher heart. So it just aligns you with the higher level and opens up your senses. So those are a few tools. We'll do more tomorrow. And also I teach you, actually, for anyone interested, all of these spells and techniques and how to actually do timeline shifts for yourself and others. And we'll speak about it tomorrow, just for a few, for anyone interested in training and being certified as that as well. But there's a lot of things I've picked up that I'm so excited to share, and I'm glad that resonated.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of people have said that like they had a hard time like pinpointing like one thing. Like for me, like I have a lot of like trauma in my life. So like it was literally like a wave of like all these different painful memories like hitting me all at once.
Yeah.
You know, it was really intense.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
normal.
cried a little bit actually.
Yeah, that's common when you have a lot of trauma, and that's what used to happen to me. And so in those situations, it's important to just breathe and be at peace. And you can ask your angel, just be like, what is the one to focus on, right? And you can just imagine you have a desktop, you can just ask the other ones to go away. And it's just learning to navigate that space more when you're feeling overwhelmed, and just trusting that you'll get to them at a time. And that's, we're bringing in a lot of light into this. So, you know, if anyone hears them plant medicines like ayahuasca, it's basically just bringing in a lot more light. So if there's a lot of trauma, or if there's a lot of things unresolved, sometimes it can be overwhelming, because it's like all these things come up because it's a contrast to that light. And so navigating that space means to just really ask for support, right? It's just like, angel, clear my mind, show me the one thing to focus on now. So you could ask that again and command it. You might need to breathe for a minute and just center yourself first, but then you'll totally get there. And it's just a small step to get to where you want to go next.
Yeah. I was actually trying to like block out the light. I put my blanket like over my face, like just be in like darkness. I don't know why, but
yeah, well,
just
if
did that.
it's overwhelming, or if it can feel too much, that can be a common reaction, and it's totally fine, you know, because it's your choice how much light you want to shine. And you know, you don't want to allow too much in at once. It could be like you know, there's at any time you could be like, hey, stop, or pause, or make it easier. You can ask divine consciousness, because you still have the choice in that space what you're allowing to. So you're basically agreeing to interface, and I'm basically getting out of the way. Nothing here is really me, to call in angels and things to come in. And at any time it's going to, you can ask to make it easier. But also just know that it's because we're working with angels, they're not going to give you more than you can handle. And it might have been the perfect experience just to kind of show you, well, there's just a lot of layers to work on, and to help you, give you an opportunity to learn to navigate the space as well. So I appreciate that.
Well, yeah. Will tomorrow be recorded as well?
It will. Yeah, they'll both be recorded.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Beautiful. I'm loving the comments here too. All right. So let's go to, let's see here. Andrea. And thanks again for your patience with all the questions.
Hi, Daniel. I am so excited to meet you and to be able to talk to you and listening to you is amazing. I saw your video of Sky that she went to meet you and you made her some healing, and it was amazing to see how she reacted to all what you told her. And I would ask you if there's a chance to work one-on-one with you, if there's a chance to spend some time with you to pick your brain, because you know so many things that I would love to learn more about.
Yeah,
And
totally.
thank you for your work.
Of course. Yeah, I do have a few openings for one-on-one. And so we'll go ahead and send you the link for that. And, you know, anyone that's interested in that or other offerings, you can just email info@dreamporting.com. We'll just put it in the chat now, and just share what you need, what you're interested in. And we'd love to support you in whatever way you're open to. So definitely, yeah, I really appreciate it. All right, so let's go to Sweeney.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey.
Hi, I first want to say thank you so much for your energy. It's very nice that you share this with all of us. So, and I wanted to say the Sumerian chanting was really cool. My ancestors were Sumerian, so I'm Assyrian. And actually, when you were talking about the ancestors, I saw thousands of them standing around. So that was really cool. So my question is, I get a lot of signs, like visual signs, and they happen, you know, minutes before something is about to occur, or days or hours or things like that. And for example, last night I was walking by an art gallery and I noticed this beautiful painting of golden boxes, and I noticed it and I really resonated with it. And then today you were describing golden boxes. Or a golden box, basically. So that kind of stuff happens to me a lot. How do I translate that information, or how do I enhance it to benefit from it more?
That's a great question. It's really making a synchronicity blanket. It's learning to connect the dots and the synchronicities. And we do teach you that in the advanced training. But essentially, you have a gift of seeing beyond time. And most of you have probably experienced this at least a few times, where you'll think of someone and then they'll call, right? That's like a small example. But sometimes it's also you're creating it and then it happens in the future. So for example, with the golden box, I've never done that before. And for some reason it was showing me a golden box. So maybe that was in part to support you and inspire you, right? So I'm just getting out of the way and just seeing what's possible. And it's beautiful. We're basically all co-creating this together, because all of our souls and our guides are in the boardroom, and we set a clear intention before. And I think a lot of you have also felt some energies or shifts before, because it's a ceremony. You're just by agreeing to come here, it's rippling out to the past. So it's already affecting you. And, you know, the greatest results are still yet to come, because again, we're just opening things up. So I'm really excited. And it's just creating a journal, you know, mark them down, ask questions, ask your guides, and connect the dots. If there's animals, you can Google them even, you know, or learn if that's something that's interesting you. You can, and start finding clues. And what we do in dream porting, we learn to download a map of synchronicities. So we get a treasure map of clues for the next few weeks of our life to guide our synchronicities in a deeper way. So we'll be sharing more about that tomorrow as well.
I'm excited. I see synchronicities every day and they're becoming stronger and stronger. So I'm excited about.
It's a great sign. That means you're in a great flow. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Of course. All right, we're gonna go to Falon.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hey.
It's actually Fallon, but that's okay. We're still friends. First and foremost, I just wanted to thank you for that incredible experience. And it was just like really refreshing and just like a reminder. A lot of the things that you said were very similar to meditations that I have done on my own. And it's just nice to have that reification of stuff, truths that you already know. So I just want to thank you for, like, you know, making this possible and putting the feelers out and connecting all these beautiful souls.
I really appreciate that. That means a lot. It's been
it was amazing. And I just had like one question that I wanted to ask you. So that Sumerian chant you did was phenomenal for one, and I didn't expect to have so many physical experiences during this meditation. So I just wanted maybe a little bit more clarity at that. Like I was trembling, I was shaking, I was crying, and the
Mhm.
inner child thing you said. Like I had a dream recently where like I saw a little baby Fallon, and then I was just and I just knew what to do and hug her, and there was so much light in the dream. But then like when I finally hugged her, I was like jolted into being awake. So it
Yeah.
was kind of like lucid dreaming, but kind of not.
Totally. Well, the angels we use, the 7 angels of the earthly mother, they're terrestrial angels. So they're actually connected more to the earth realm and can really help heal and release trauma and limitations and darkness from our physical bodies. So that's why we use them first in this introductory system. And then in the advanced training, we learn to use all 14. We just used a few of them today because then there's the 7 angels of the Heavenly Father, and those are the celestial angels. And together they take you all the way through the levels to what you could call enlightenment or Christ consciousness and support you. So it's great because a lot of people felt really intense physical things. It's kind of like getting an angelic massage. They have access to really go deep within you and clear not just emotional things, but deep physical things as well. So a lot of people report, headaches go away and all sorts of things from it as well. So I definitely recommend you keep working and learning with them because it's an incredible opportunity and great feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn more. And I just want to say also, I really appreciate how you draw from all types of ancient religions and cosmologies. That's really refreshing to see not someone just rooted in one type of ideology, and the bigger understanding that there's beauty in all of it. We just need to explore and take from everything.
Totally. I appreciate that. I love all of them. And what I've learned is I've just tested it. And, sometimes it's like, okay, this technique goes good here and this universal law goes good here. And they all actually are part of the whole. And when we combine them, sometimes incredible magic happens and it can be a lot faster. And even though we can gain enlightenment, let's say from one specific lineage in this day and age, a lot of people do resonate with the mixed magic, let's say, because sometimes it's easier to kind of combine different codes at different times. So it's really just intuitively pull them through based off everyone's in the group to what feels best to go next. So I appreciate it. Yeah.
It's just refreshing because we're in such a fear-based culture right now, and I'm an anthropologist. So culture anthropology and learning about all of it and taking what you need and leaving what you don't, it's refreshing to see someone else practice that. So thank you, and so much love and light to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, we'll go to Robin.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good. Okay. So my thing is, I'm a very practical person. I'm a Capricorn, sorry. But I do feel spiritual, and I do know there's a spiritual world, but I have a hard time stopping thinking about other things when I'm trying to do this. Like I try so hard and I just can't seem to get there.
Yeah, totally. Well, part of it for you, I feel it is a physical detox because when there's toxins in our bodies, they signal a lot of thoughts and they're usually lower vibrational thoughts. So part of it is relaxing your nervous system, right? So taking more magnesium, there's different supplements you can take, taking away stressors from your life, maybe getting a massage or doing a cold or hot cold, like a cold plunge or cold shower, right? And it's basically just breaking out of your mind. Your mind's gonna be like, no, it's too cold. Oh my God. And you just breathe and relax. And it's chipping away at the mind's power until your spirit has more power than all of those thoughts in your mind. And so it's basically just winning the battle with the mind. So meditation, state changes, all of that's going to help. And then continuing this work in tandem with it will really help you. So it's about being easy with yourself. Yeah.
Are there any suggestions you have for me to prepare for tomorrow?
Yeah, I would see how much you can get off your phone, close other tabs in your mind. Like if, make a list of things that are worrying you and journal the answer, maybe take care of one or two first. See if you can just resolve some things, make a boundary with someone, and then do a cold shower before the call for like at least 2 minutes and just let yourself, relax and breathe, meditate, and be easy with yourself because it's just there's this extra layers of the mind. It's very common. And that used to be my case for so many years. And it's just about patience. And either way, you know, whatever it is that's meant to be for you tomorrow, you're going to get a benefit, right? And you can always do this process again.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you got this. Yeah. Chipping away at the mind. That's a powerful thing to do, changing your state. I did a cold plunge for a couple minutes right before the call. It really helped me. And it can be a little uncomfortable, fun comfortable, but then it gives you a lot of great results. It really resets your nervous system, your energy, all sorts of stuff. Okay, we're going to go to Shanine. Hello. Okay, let's go to, we're just gonna keep choosing. Okay, how about you, Kelsey?
Hi, Daniel.
Hey.
First of all, I want to thank you from the very bottom of my soul for doing this and offering this to anyone that wanted to take it. I think someone asked earlier, but my internet has been in and out this whole time. Further working with you, training, or I was wondering if you were going to be training people to do what you do and spread it further into the world.
Yeah, we're going to share that tomorrow since a lot of people are asking. We do have a training coming up to share the whole system with you. So not only do you get the full transformation arc yourself, which you need to go through anyways, then you can choose to train deeper to go an even deeper layer with yourself and learn the whole master toolkit. And then you get free dream porting sessions for life, because then you'll be a certified practitioner and you'll get to just trade and connect with the whole community and get supported with that. So
awesome.
I'll definitely share that tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah.
Offerings. Yeah.
Okay, great. And I had a question about addiction. I'm a smoker and I don't want to smoke right now. But say I do over the next 24 hours want to, is there a way to, with what we've done already, is there a way to kind of
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's just
wire that
finding,
in? I'm no longer a smoker.
yeah, there's often emotions like grief or tension or resistance. So it's finding what the root of that is, right? And it's allowing yourself to track the root of that and continue doing the inner work so that and then there's the training where you learn to regulate your energy and your nervous system. And we go into all of that in the advanced training too, but we'll do a little bit tomorrow. But essentially, once you clear the root enough, doesn't have to be 100%, then you'll feel confident enough to lower or quit smoking and transition out of that, because you're not going to need something constantly to give you that buzz to kind of get you clear, or because there's a lot of tabs open too, right? It's like tobacco can temporarily just give you that focus and calm you down at the same time. But it's basically asking yourself, like, what is the way of me doing that naturally while being compassionate, right? And, you know, I don't suggest quitting right away unless you're intuitively guided to. For some people, it's basically what I would do is start, it's like a crossfade, right? 2 scenes. It's like, do the inner work until you're ready, you know, after a few sessions, and then lower it and then quit it so that it's a more graceful transition. And that will sometimes help you build a faster momentum. It's not as hard of a transition, but again, it's all intuitive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Okay. I did have one more question, but it just escaped my brain. And
that's okay. We can come back to you. Let's go to Rio.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey.
So like everyone else, I don't want to forget to express my gratitude for what you're doing today. My ADHD sometimes thinks I said that or something like that, and like, oh, you didn't actually speak it into reality. So thank you. You used a term. It was frequency rate limiter, and that kind of struck me. And I feel like I'm guessing intuitively that would signify beliefs, stories, judgments, criticisms, things that you have adopted and made part of yourself that are now blocking
Right.
access to something higher, or is it something more than that? And is it
I can
something that you're going to
explain
talk
it. Yeah,
about
I'd love
tomorrow?
to. So
Thank you.
basically, it's like an intelligent ceiling. So sometimes let's say it's about money. Like, oh, once I get past 70,000 a year, then I'll self-sabotage or something will go wrong, right? It doesn't even have to be something you do. It will just be something that happens in life. But again, remember, life is simply reflecting different frequencies and beliefs inside of you. So it's about really revealing and transforming those limitations. They're often there trying to protect you, and they're not really protecting you, right? It's something you might have made when you were 5, or it could be from your lineage. You know, it could be many generations of your parents or grandparents getting screwed over financially, and then they're like, oh, money is bad, and then you're still carrying that on. So with these energy techniques, we can instantly reveal and transform any of those things. And again, we do go through so many layers of that in the advanced course, but we'll do another round of that tomorrow before the timeline shift, and that will be really good.
I'm actually excited about the timeline shift because it's something that I don't hear a lot in this kind of work. It's not something that gets touched on a lot. And I've been a Buddhist for 30, I want to say 6 or almost 7 years, 37 years. And there is a tenet in this Buddhism that essentially, oh God, words, that basically explains that all of your intentions and all of your, all of the chanting and all of the connection in the universe that you are doing kind of transmutes like over time for 7 generations in the past, as well as 7 generations in the future. So we think of time as a very linear construct where it's always going forward. And we never think that our connection to this moment is actually reverberating what we would consider backward, right? So I think during the meditation, I really felt like the purpose of my life, at least at this moment, was to be able to afford healing to people whose manifest experiences on this earth have exhausted, and now they're in a more kind of universal existence. But I felt like it was really transformative to me to know that the causes and the actions and the transformations that I'm experiencing are something that can blanket my ancestors in the past and afford them healing. And the universality of all of that was really tremendous. So I wanted to say that, and I'm excited about that time.
Yeah, we're going to move into vertical time. It's just an enhanced awareness where instead of the linear time, which is really just an illusion, but also one that's helping us live life and learn in this reality. And vertical time means now you're here in the present moment and you have access to all the timelines and you can access them, you can transform them. And it's really just your higher self, right? So it's not really the ego doing it. We make sure it's intuitively guided, and that's when the magic happens. So really excited for that tomorrow. And thank you again for your share.
Thank you.
Okay. So I probably have the bandwidth for just a few more. And again, if you really need something answered before tomorrow, you can email us. And but we're going to also, support you tomorrow and after the call. So there's lots of ways. I'm really excited. I'm seeing someone saying, I don't want to leave, but we're going to give you a ritual in a little bit. And tomorrow we're going to go so much deeper. And we'd love to have you all join the Dream Porting community. And we'll send you a link for that as well. So you can all connect and find friends in your areas and keep sharing the magic together. All right. So let's do, see. Jillian.
Hi there, how are you?
Great. How can I help?
Oh my gosh, that was massively transformational and powerful. Something you said about angelic massage really resonated, and I'm a licensed massage therapist as well as an intuitive sound healer. And I'm not sure what the intention was in the prayer you put into the water, but as soon as I drank it, my whole body felt thrushed with heat and my hands started sweating. I've also had a lot of my clients explain to me that they've had these transcendental experiences with my massages and sound healing, and they're bringing in all these visions and telling me about them. But I guess
I would like more clarity on like where that's coming from and what it is that I'm facilitating for them, because I'm the channel and the vessel for it, but not really understanding what it is they're experiencing. So maybe.
Yeah, totally. Well, I see you as a very gifted being. So I wouldn't consider you a massage therapist. I would say massage is one of the many things you do. And the more you embrace your multidimensional nature, that will come through in your work, because you're a very gifted energy worker and channel. And I see you massaging them with ribbons of light and working more with angels and different lineages that resonate with you, to offer them a much deeper and faster transformation with certain bodywork techniques. And it feels like this is just a confirmation that you have an extra sensory gift and that you're invited to continue learning and practicing it.
My solar plexus is on fire right now. I can't even. Also about the Sumerian prayer and the chant. I was reading a book about Mary Magdalene last night, and about Sumerian goddesses and how they would bring these jugs of water. So I guess I wanted to ask what your insight is on that more as well.
Bringing what exactly?
They were holding these almost like water chalices in the book that I was reading from Mary Magdalene, and it was talking about these Sumerian like high priestesses, and they were holding onto these almost like water jugs.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get very far into the book, but maybe just asking you like what that prayer actually means, because I feel like that's resonating as well.
Yeah, it's basically an ancient spell to release entities. So some people will get exorcisms, for example, where it's just a demon or any energies or entities that are not theirs will release. So we use it to kind of finish the job sometimes, so to speak. And ancient languages have certain powers that sometimes things like English don't. And I love, working with many different languages. So yeah, it's if that resonates with you, I would say follow it and continue learning about that, because it's your soul pinging you for things that you get to remember and maybe use for the highest good. So yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Definitely. All right, let's go to Sarah Jane.
Hey Daniel, just thank you very much. Like everyone said, it's been phenomenal. I was crying from before you even said to connect. It's like I jumped there already, and you had a lot of release during this, and I just feel, I don't know if you had this from before, but like a great calling to do stuff. And I know we all have our callings, but I feel the pressure so much that it kind of like gets in the way of me being able to, like, I have so many limiting beliefs about myself that I just feel that I'm just blocking myself, and I get so frustrated. So what would you say would be the main thing to focus on to be able to get out there?
Yeah, well, I would be easy on yourself and just hold that part of you that's frustrated, and take the pressure off, right? That was like an earlier question, because it's like your brakes are on, right? And it's just trusting like, hey, everyone's brakes are on until they're off, and it's a process. So it's about really tuning in to that part of you that was treated in a way where, she had to put the brakes on, right? And just really just with love, and you can do this in the ritual later today, just apologize again, like ask what she needs, and just get her to a place where she can integrate with you. And that's going to solve a lot of the issues. And it's, again, not taking it personally or making it a big deal when things come up, and just being like, okay, great. It's like you have a child, and every once in a while they'll cry, and like, we're going shopping, and she's like, no. And you just, and conscious parenting, instead of being like, hey, stop whining, which is actually super unconscious. You can say, what's wrong? It's like, I don't want to go shopping. It's like, why not? It's like, because I want to stay here. It's like, why? And you get to the root of it. And it might take an hour the first time, but then you get somewhere and she's finally listening to you, and then you could take her shopping. And then every time you do it, it'll take less and less time overall, right? And on the average of those times. And so it's about really leaning in and just staying present and staying neutral, right? Remain at 12 o'clock. And the way to do that is to detach from the outcome, detach from the pressure of like, hey, I need to do this now. I need to get this work going, right? because then you'll spin your wheels. It's just trusting like, hey, like this is the lesson in front of me right now. And I'm going to be fully present and complete it as long as it takes. And when you release that pressure, then a lot of miracles will happen.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, safety's been a big thing, like from baby right up till, well, several stages of life, school, and several relationships and everything. So yeah, that's just something. Even now, okay, I'm releasing. It's just like I can feel everything
Totally,
coming through.
right? Yeah, you're releasing the pressure on it. It's just by allowing it to be there, it's dissolving, because it takes two to tango. When you resist something, it persists. And that's the funny part, right? So I love that. And if you do the mirror ritual later today, you can really apologize. And for anyone watching, just apologize to that part of you that, what got her to that place, right? There's just so much stifling and, punishment or whatever it is. And really like let yourself feel that and go there and apologize, not just for what happened, but how you might have betrayed that part of you or not spoken up. Maybe you said yes when you meant no, right? And it's just really owning up to that. And then they'll always like forgive you and be like, okay, thank you. Now we can talk again. Now I trust you again. And then you feel safe with yourself, because it's safety first with yourself. Everything else is a reflection. And when that little girl feels safe with you because you're really showing up as the conscious parent, then the relationships open up and the abundance opens up to a whole new level, because your brakes are off now and you can really go at full speed. So I'm excited to hear what happens. Yeah, of course. Okay, let's go to Reynold. Okay, let's try Katerina.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi. I didn't think you'd pick me, so
That's why I picked you.
yeah, great. Yeah. I'd like to say it was wonderful. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know you before, but yeah, and thank you so much for your patience with all our questions. My experience was I recognized the questioner before where she said the mind was quite strong. And I find that too. I can switch. I can tune into love quite deeply. But it's like in and out for me. And what I found with going into the memory, no memory came. There was just no memory. So
yeah, that's totally normal.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets memories each time, and you don't need a specific memory. Sometimes you just get a gist of it. Like you could just feel your mom yelling at you. So then you just have them in front of you and you have the dialogue, you forgive, you give that child what it needs. And sometimes it's pre-verbal trauma. So it's something you can't really remember or get a message about. And so either way, when you don't get a memory, it's just using your imagination, right? What does that part of you need? So you can imagine that little girl and you can ask her what she needs. And even if you don't get a response, you can guess, right? And just reassure her, apologize,
Right.
love, and you'll get to a point where things will move. And especially when you use the angels to help, they'll guide you and they'll help move the energy really fast. So you're welcome to listen to this again as well. And I have a feeling you'll be able to go deeper.
Okay, cool. And I had so much burping. It was really ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I thought it must be something releasing.
Exactly. Yeah. So the burping, yawning,
Right.
ears shaking, as sounds, it's all your body just doing a deep purging and reset. It's like, oh, finally I can dump all this stuff, because with free will, your subconscious is attaching to it. It's like, I need to hold on to this, right? If you haven't forgiven someone, if you feel like you need to protect yourself or block or overcompensate or filter your voice, all that's so much tension in our bodies. And when we finally give it up, and with the angels, it just rapidly, just quantumly moved. So your body's just like, okay, boom, 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 boom. It's just doing everything to release it all. And you're still integrating. There's still release going on. So be easy with yourself. And I'm excited to hear what happens.
Yeah, and with the Sumerian chant, that one I really felt. I was surprised by it. It was like my stomach turned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really felt that. So that was, yeah, surprised me. And it was okay, but it felt strange.
Yeah, well, there might have been an entity in there. That's what I was feeling for you. So, you know, when you release those, also things get a lot easier. And it's just beings or spirits or energies that are not you, that can, it's kind of like a parasite. And, these are some techniques that can really clear them. The most important thing to realize, though, is not to just clear the entity, but find out how it got in the first place and polish your mind so that it doesn't happen again. And we again go in the advanced training through all of that. But I'm really glad it left, and it just really just taking this opportunity to stay positive and strengthen your connection to the divine and allow yourself to love yourself in a deeper way, to hold your own energy in that space.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'd love to know, obviously, then how not to let that in anymore. But yeah.
It starts with self-love, right? Just asking that part of you, right, what's coming up, and just loving that part of you so that you're not abandoning that part of you or rejecting it. Because when you do that, you're literally not there. And if you're not there, something might be there instead, right? So own your space. So it's a great opportunity to get curious about that. Beautiful. Well, thanks again for reaching out. And I think we have time for just one more because I actually need a little break. And I'm so excited to answer all of your questions, do more tomorrow. And in our Dreamporting Academy and in our community, we'd love to support you all. So let me just tune into the one for now. And we'll do, let me see. Alina.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I was actually thinking, like, will you choose me or not? And I feel so blessed. I feel so like appreciated and heard because I asked my angels to help me, to be connected with you. I really appreciate the session, and it amazed me. And I'm just been listening all these comments and just like nodding, with everything what people are saying. And thank you so much. My question is, I actually really want to do the same job as you do. Like, I'm an energy healer. I'm like a personal coach, right? And I want to go deeper and advance myself, enhance my skills, and deepen my knowledge about, everything what you've just said and other stuff, right? There's so much, there's so much. But how to balance that money, that abundance? Well, because we still live in the material world, right? Money and spirituality. So how to balance that? How to create that marketing? Maybe this is what you teach in your course. I don't know. So because that's where I kind of got stuck, because my beginning, sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So I did like one-to-one sessions, donation based. So when people just paid me what they wanted to pay, like what you did with this session, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I really want to make it like my main thing. I've got other different sources of income, but I really want to help and dedicate my life to this kind of work, which you do. But how to balance that? Because as soon as I put some price like to my services, I feel like, is it okay? Is it enough? Is it not enough? Like this is what I really struggle to understand, like where this line, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sorry.
totally. Well, there's a lot of programming with money, and money isn't bad, even if some people misuse it, right? Just like a hammer isn't bad unless you misuse it. So it's first, clearing the guilt and shame and any judgment about money from your lineage, from your programming, which we also do in the advanced course. And we actually have a whole business bonus module to whether you want to be an energy coach or just any business to really launch to a beautiful level and share both the 3D and the 5D tools, let's say. But it's really about, what value are you giving to someone else? And for me, we all have different paths and templates. For me, I do things for free or for $1 for thousands of people. And then I work with some billionaires that, give me a huge amount of money to help them. And that's also rippling out because it's opening their hearts and making a big impact. And that helps me invest in the movie I'm making so millions of people can learn these codes.
Wow.
And you know, a
Mhm.
nice house that I don't have to be in a little apartment right next to other people because I'm sensitive to energy. So
Yeah.
it's just like what template, you know, some people can just live in the woods and they don't need a lot of money. And it's all intuitive, right? It's like, what does your body and your soul require to fully, to fulfill the potential of your destiny without judgment? And when you allow yourself to just receive that and own, you know, whatever you're intuitively guided to charge, which can evolve over time, then you're aligned with your destiny because you're getting out of the way instead of thinking like, oh, what if this person thinks this, then I'm not spiritual, or what if this person can't afford it? It's like, well, you can have different choices, or you're not meant to help every single person in the world, right? So it's trusting that your intuition will guide you to all of those things, and trusting that the universe will self-organize to attract the right people and guide you on how to deal with those things. So it's about stop operating from the mind and the concepts and awake
Mhm,
the
mhm.
intuition and just pull that through. And we help you do that by letting go of all the layers in the way of just getting that really clear and
Of
precise
course, of
answers to
course.
everything. So yeah,
That's great. Thank you so much. It just simply, I have a job, another job, as an English teacher. So I teach English, right? And with regards to this kind of business, I've never even advertised myself because people just like coming to me all the time, and I've been increasing my price, you know, and still people are coming and coming. So I've never experienced any problems with that. But as soon as I go into spirituality, like that kind of work, right? This is where I've got something like a block, as you said, yes, like a belief, you know. And I really want to work on it, maybe through the help of your academy and your dream porting, right? Educational system, whatever it is, I don't know what it is. But yeah, it sounds like something I would really be interested in. But thank you so much. Thank you. I
of course.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we go through all of that and so much more in our certification program, our mastery course, which we'll share briefly tomorrow at the end. So yeah, thank you for sharing. And thank you, everyone. And I wish I could answer more questions now. I'm going to take a little break and charge up for tomorrow for you. And we'll answer a lot more of your questions then. So I just want to say, drink a lot of water, spend time in nature, journal, and we'll send you out in a little bit a magic ritual you can do, whether it's tonight or it could be the morning right before. It doesn't really matter, but do your best to do it soon. And we'll send you out the recording in the same email. So just give us a little time for that, and be easy on yourself. Get curious what comes up. Keep calling your angels and ask them if there's any block that comes up, or you can redo part of the ritual if you'd like, and just be patient and trust that whatever's coming up is perfect. I'll leave you with that. And just, wow, it's been such an honor to feel so many beautiful souls. I'm so excited to connect more one-on-one with so many of you as well. And I will see you all tomorrow. So thank you so much again. So many blessings. This was so incredible. And we're just getting started. So I look forward to continuing the journey with you soon. Much love.